Welcome to Train Mountain, the world's longest model railroad. Thank you for taking time to hear about a few important safety measures that will go a long way to ensuring your time at Train Mountain will be fun for you and for other people enjoying this amazing place. As you visit Train Mountain and make use of the extensive rail and support facilities, consider the fact that almost all work done to create and maintain this place is done by volunteers, using donated funds for materials. So take pride in being part of this amazing non-profit organization. Be respectful, follow all safety rules, and look for some way that you can contribute to keeping Train Mountain going for generations to come. Now here are the rules of the road. Your train. What you need to have. All trains operating during a meet must have both an engineer and a conductor. A conductor must have the ability to quickly communicate with the engineer via a whistle or radio. If you are operating your train outside of meet dates, you may operate without a conductor by carrying an orange cone in the event you need to flag by yourself for a breakdown or derailment. The exception to the conductor rule is for rail bikes and speeders, which you can quickly lift off the track by yourself in the event of a breakdown. Your train must have these items on board: a red flag, at least 12 by 12 inches, a whistle, a few green blocks, a cell phone, and a UHF radio set to Train Mountain Channel 1, or, during meets, the channel designated on the back of your badge. Your train must be equipped with drawbars, safety chains, or cables with screw-type closures between each car. Train Mountain has many long grades, and safety chains are essential to avoid potentially serious consequences from runaway rolling stock. Rope and clip type links and horseshoe style links are not acceptable at Train Mountain. Are you running a steamer? Train Mountain requires you have a boiler certificate issued by either Train Mountain or your local club within the past year. Also, never allow a chain to trail behind your train. Train Mountain is located at 4,300 feet of elevation in the high desert and can get very hot. Some routes may take you 3 or more hours to complete, so it's also very important to have water, sunscreen, insect repellent, and any other items on your train which you may need for a long trip through the beautiful Oregon pines. A hat and a snack are also good to bring along. And since our layout is pretty extensive, if you're not very familiar with it, you're going to want to bring a map. Understanding the layout, what you need to know. You'll see these mileposts all along the layout. They're positioned every 200ths of a mile, about 106 feet, along all mainline right-of-way, and give you some useful information. The top of the sign shows the name of the track division. In the middle, you'll see the track mileage number. This number isn't continuous around the track, but it is a unique number, so if you need to call for help, you can give your location using this number and the division name. The number at the bottom of the sign is the grade of the track between this milepost and the next milepost. While running at Train Mountain, you'll encounter 4 kinds of switch operators. Electronic actuators, used when you don't see signs indicating tower control, will set your route for multiple switches ahead of you. Kick switches are very common and can be set by gently tapping the points to one side or another. Kick switches will snap into position when your train travels from the trailing direction. You'll also encounter ground throw spring switches. These must be thrown by hand for facing point travel, but will spring momentarily in the trailing direction. The last type of switch is the manual remote. These switches control a single switch 40 feet ahead of the stand. When the ball on top shows green, the switch is aligned for the main line. When it's yellow, the switch is aligned for a diverging route or siding. The easiest way to read these switches is to look at the yellow handle. When you move the handle to the right, you'll be routed to the right. And if you want to route to the left, you move the handle to the left. At some meets, you'll see signs indicating you should use a radio to request routing. When this is the case, the electronic actuators will be disabled. Instead, you'll call the tower operators and request routing. Regardless of how you've requested routing, you must always obey the signals. These signals protect you and your train. You must never proceed through a solid red signal. In some places on our layout, the signal is the only thing protecting you from an oncoming train on your track. Train Mountain has several informative videos available on our YouTube channel regarding reading signals at Train Mountain. Safe operation, what you need to do. While underway, you must maintain a separation of 211 feet, that's 2 mileposts, between trains. This is very important to protect you, your train, and your crew. If your train should suffer a derailment or breakdown, or you're doing a reverse maneuver, your conductor must go back 2 mileposts, or 211 feet, with the red flag to warn any following trains. If your conductor is needed to help resolve the problem, the conductor of a following train can protect the back of both trains. If you don't have a conductor, which is permissible except during meets, place your orange cone 2 mileposts behind your train while you address the problem. The following train can flag for both of you 2 mileposts behind his train. Now you know what the red flag is for. What about green blocks? If you suffer a derailment and suspect there may be an issue with the track, set a green block 12 to 18 inches to the right side of the ties in the ballast. Put the block exactly where the derailment occurred. This will alert track crews to the problem and warn following trains. Here are a few tips to avoid derailments. Beware of pine cones jammed in switches. Be careful when aligning triple switches. Do not back up while your train is over a ground throw switch. Don't tailgate another train where you're using an electronic actuator. And finally, watch out for track problems where you see multiple green blocks. Another important aspect of safe operation at Train Mountain is proper running speed. Maximum running speed is 7 miles per hour, which is 10 seconds between mileposts. When you are within yard limits, the maximum speed is 3 miles per hour. There are many grade crossings at Train Mountain. When you see a W sign, you should sound your horn to indicate your approach. The proper pattern is long, long, short, long, with the final note happening as you enter the crossing. Another thing to watch for on the Train Mountain layout is the areas where an alternate route may cross the main line on a diamond or merge point. It's the engineer's responsibility to watch switch points and remote switch handles. If you aren't alert, you could run in front of an oncoming train. One more thing about switches. Please never leave a switch directed into a siding. Don't be that guy that fails to reset a switch to the main line. Fire season in Klamath County generally runs all the way from May through October. All users at our facility must be keenly aware of the danger of fire in our high desert setting. Smoking is only allowed in 3 designated areas: outside the east door of the Hall of Flags, in front of the back shop, away from the door, and outside of the motor pool. Smoking is prohibited everywhere else at Train Mountain, including the entire property north of South Chiloquin Road. Violators may be required to leave. Fire is one of our biggest dangers. When fire danger is high or extreme, trains going north of South Chiloquin Road should carry basic firefighting equipment as seen here. During fire season, equipped fire gondolas are provided by Train Mountain for your use when going north. Pick one up at Woodpecker Siding and drop it off at Mopac. Check out our fire tool video for more information. Steam locomotives may only be operated at Train Mountain if they are fired by propane. While many people find this disappointing, it's critical that we exercise every caution possible to protect this treasure from devastation like we saw at the 2020 fire on the north side of the property around Hope Circle. Finally, we encourage you to try running your train at night. There's nothing like it. To do so, you'll need to have a bright headlight and a flashing red taillight on the last car of your train. You'll also need to have a good flashlight on board to flag in the event of a breakdown. There may be additional rules or temporary restrictions posted at Central Station. Please take time to review that. Remember that Train Mountain only exists because generations of rail fans before you have done their part in volunteering and operating safely. If you see something that seems unsafe, stop it or communicate it to an official. If you need a job to do, check with the volunteer coordinator and attend the morning meetings during meets. Now a quick review and links to learn more. Here are a few of the most important things to remember. Distance between trains, 2 mileposts. Safety chains are always required. Flag behind a disabled train. Maximum speeds, 3 miles per hour in yard limits, 7 miles per hour outside of yard limits. Obey fire rules. Do your part and enjoy. Thanks again for visiting Train Mountain Railroad.